Hi, beautiful soul, and welcome to another episode of Intuitive Creator Spotlight. I am Stella, your host, and I am inviting here amazing guests who transform their lives and now are on a path to help other people transform their lives too and connect with their truth. Today, I have here with me a beautiful, beautiful guest, Jasinta. She is a pioneering mindset and public speaking coach who has revolutionized the way we communicate through her beautiful method, which is a sing speak method. And honestly, I can't wait to talk about this with her. Hi, Jacinta. Welcome to this interview.
Hello, Stella. Thank you so much. I'm so excited to share space, to go deeper, and just to have some fun in this conversation today.
Oh, absolutely. I am so honored to have you here. And I was sharing with you before we started recording how I was just browsing through your social media and through your videos, through your posts, through everything that you share. I could just feel your soul. And this is such a beautiful thing, isn't it, to kind of be aware of, especially in the day
Mm,
and age that we live now. And
mm,
we had this conversation. I really want for you to share this with us.
mm,
What's the connection between sharing your soul through music and then
mm.
sharing your beautiful heart and energy through speaking?
Yeah, there's such a powerful connection between the two, right? As we were saying, listen, your soul has a song it wants to sing. I'm gonna say it again, okay? Your soul has a song it wants to sing, but but here's the thing: it's not necessarily it needs to come out through singing. It's just there's an essence that wants to come through you, and that essence coming through your speaking is like one of the most powerful and transformational things that you can do because it amplifies your communication in all I can say is it amplifies it to the next level. Let's say that.
Absolutely. And it's really beautiful to experience because I guess having experience in singing as you do, and then
Mhm.
taking that beautiful skill and bring it into speaking, then you can witness so many reactions. I can only imagine from people listening to what you have to say. What has been one of the most memorable reactions that you've received from someone in the audience as you're speaking?
Oh my, like recently I spoke at a university. I had the privilege of going to Plymouth University and being a speaker. And there were ladies in the audience shouting like shouting. By the time I had finished, was shouting and they were saying, yes, yes, I'm with you. That's one of my calls to actions where, listen, when you speak, but you speak with musicality, there's a rhythm, there's a cadence, there's a beat, there's a pulse to it that the audience feels that just brings such a powerful connection to it. And it's the part where I say, look, that's where you convert hearts. And so the most memorable reaction is them just shouting and screaming and just feeling so connected to what was being said and how it was being said.
Absolutely. And so you blend music, coaching, speaking, and also sales, because you do have experience in sales as well. Can you share with us when was that moment when you realized that communication was your true calling?
Oh, good question. To be honest, we underestimate communication a lot, we underestimate it. I have been a singer my whole life. And there were times in my life where I just never really saw it being anything quite unique. It was just something I did. I always did it. And I'll say this. I said to you earlier, like battle tested leaders make the most authentic speakers. And this is why, because when you have a life lesson that was hard from the very beginning, you come with a story. You come with a story. But you see, for me, I didn't believe that my story or my communication was valuable. I didn't believe that it was worthy to say anything, you know? But I would say the pivot came for me in 2017 when I was touring in Poland. There's a special place in my heart, a beautiful place called Kielce. And in Kielce is where I found my true voice, my true communication through the power of Sing Speak. And in that moment, I was able to really see and transform that. Wow, my voice isn't just powerful, but there's somebody that needs to hear what you have to say because there's a resonance that you give that only that for them it just lands, right? The plane just lands for them when you say it in the way that you say it. And so that happened to me when a really striking masculine Polish man who I never thought would come to my show, after the show, he came up to me and he gave me a hug. And I was like, okay, right. He's giving me a hug. And he gave me the hug and he said, he just said, Dziękuję first, thank you. And then continued to say, wow, I'm going to go home now and I'm going to speak to my son. You see, the thing was, the story that I said on the stage was about you being somebody else's angel. And he never realized that he wasn't being an angel to his son. His son needed him in a different way. That was the moment I truly realized that your voice matters, your communication matters, but there's a resonance that you give that somebody needs. So never underestimate it.
Oh, I love this so much. I can only imagine what a big role you played in that man's life because
Mm.
a moment like that can shift so much and you go and revisit all your life, all your experiences. You start communicating with people differently as well. So let me ask you this, who has been your angel? Who has been an angel or more angels for you in your life?
Oh my God, so many. Like I've been blessed to have really good friends in my life, really good people that just speak and pour life into me. But to be honest, one of my angels is somebody that's passed away now, but she's been incredible to me. And when I read her first book, it changed me forever. Maya Angelou. Maya Angelou, famous poet, is my angel because her words, her communication pulled me out of a very dark space. And that was the beginning of really seeing that your voice, it matters, right? Your voice matters. And also unearthing your story from within you and your voice and the things that you have to say. It frees you, it heals you, it releases you, it sets you free, and it sets you up for your next chapter.
And how exciting is that? And then I always say that when we heal ourselves, it's not just ourselves that we're healing, it's as the society, we contribute to the
Oh,
healing of
yeah.
society and
Yep.
also the healing of generations before us and generations that will come after us as well. And I think as you mentioned beautifully, that when you go there inside within yourself and then you allow for that story to be shared, then
Mm,
those people who need to hear it, they will.
mm,
Just like we heard somebody else's story when we needed
yeah,
that the most.
yeah.
And so I know that the experiences that you've had in Poland have been incredible for you, and also those experiences inspired you in a way as well. So would you say that your very special method, sing speak method, is that related? Like, has the inspiration to create it related to your travels to Poland?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because here's why. Because when I was touring in Poland and I was singing and I was talking on stage, what would happen is you would have some of the audience members that wouldn't speak a lot of English, right? Because I'm in Poland, they speak mainly Polish. And so what I found through the sing speak method, what I found in Poland was there's a way to communicate that speaks to hearts that goes beyond words, right? There's a communication that goes beyond words that everybody gets it and everybody's heart is felt and it's hit and it's like, oh my God. So yes, Poland has an amazing place in my heart for birthing that. Absolutely.
If you were to describe this method to someone who maybe is watching this episode and they're thinking, That sounds interesting, but I'm
Yeah.
not a good singer. I
Yeah.
I was never
Yeah.
connected with singing,
Yes.
but the speaking part sounds interesting to me. So, but
Yeah.
I understand that the two can be very powerful. How would you explain that to someone who's thinking like that?
Yeah, what I would say is this, and many of my clients, when they first came to me, they would be like, "Yeah, I'm not a good singer, so can I do this thing? Do I have to be able to sing like you?" And it's like, no, that's not the point of it, right? So the Sing Speak method is the art and flow of public speaking. It's helping you to find your flow in your words. It's helping you to find your rhythm. It's helping you to find your cadence with what you're saying. So it goes beyond your signature speech and it is the delivery. And so what you're finding is we're fine-tuning your sound in the way that you speak, in the way that you communicate, so that hearts are felt and words are not just heard.
Oh, that's so beautiful. And it's not a coincidence that when you, for example, find a song that is sung in a language that you don't understand, but you hear and feel that energy, it can create a specific feeling, even if you don't really
Absolutely.
understand the language. And like even so, I can only imagine when you're in um, like a space with someone who's sharing their story from their heart. There is no screen, like you see that
Yeah.
person directly, you feel their energy, you feel their
Yeah.
vibration, and this is really powerful. And I'm super super grateful that you are expressing your gift in the world, and you're helping so many people with your talent, with your skill and gift. But I'm sure that during your experience, you've seen that many people struggle to express their true voice. What would you
Yes.
say is the biggest challenge or barrier for these people? Like when they come to you and they say, "Oh, I don't know what to do." Why do you think that happens?
Absolutely fantastic question. The first barrier is this. Are you really connecting to your true emotions? The emotions you can't feel are the emotions you can't reveal. You cannot reveal in your speaking what you won't feel for yourself inside your body. And that, for my lovely, awesome, especially divine ladies that tend to be more on their masculine side sometimes rather than tapping into their feminine, what tends to happen is there's this kind of robotic way of operating and being. And because maybe you're coming from the corporate world and that's where you first learned that and you had this rigid way of being, and so that rigidness, it's stopping you from connecting to how you feel. And if you are not connecting to how you feel, you cannot reveal it when you're speaking. So the first step for that is to tap into your own truth frequency. Get honest. Get honest with yourself about where you're coming from. What's your story? What's your beginning? What are you not revealing to yourself? What are you not being honest with yourself about?
This is absolute gold. Like what you can't feel, you can't reveal. This is gold. And I love this so much because I'm sure many of our beautiful viewers will resonate with that. And as you're watching this video, please make sure you're checking the description of this video to know how to connect with Jacinta, with her amazing work. You might find the video as soon as we post it, or you might find it 1 year from now or 2 or 3 years from now. So make sure you check out her links to know how to connect with her. So I know, Jacinta, that confidence in speaking is often connected to the mindset. How would you say you help your beautiful clients to shift their beliefs around
Yeah.
like showing up and speaking their truth when they come to work with you?
Yeah, the main mindset that needs to be shifted is this. It's the mindset of you are not a diamond in the rough, you are a diamond in the making. Because when you believe that you're a diamond in the rough, what you're doing is you're dimming your own sparkle. So the mindset shift you need to have, right, is to, okay, where am I shrinking? Where am I dimming? Where am I stepping back from the spotlight? Where am I hiding in the shadows? Where am I being invisible? That's the mindset shift that really has to happen that helps you to go from invisible to luminary.
Mm. And I love I love when I hear analogies or examples like the
Hmm.
diamond, right, in the making, and it's kind of giving you the visual of like, okay, that's a process to it. And I absolutely love the idea that we're always learning, we're always growing, because otherwise life would be very boring, I guess. Because you
Absolutely.
always discover something within yourself, and then when you share that with the world and you're allowing for that to come through in your own way, it's super super special. So I also know that you're talking about premium positioning through
Hmm.
authentic communication. So
Yeah.
what does that mean?
Girl, it means everything. It means everything. It means that you came out the womb premium and you need to remember it. It means that you need to step into your power when it comes to your offering and what you are selling. I tend to find that there are female, powerful, luminary leaders, okay, that have some kind of offer, whether it's a high ticket offer, it's a premium offer of some kind. But what tends to happen is the offer never matches the expression. I'm going to say it again for the people at the back. The offer never matches the expression. You see, most people that have the most valuable solution for everybody don't always have the confidence to express it in the way that it needs to be delivered. So your premium positioning when it comes to speaking is the confidence match. It's stepping into your main character energy. It's you becoming the luminary, and it's actually you being bold enough and brave enough to match the frequency of your offer and your solution and what you can deliver with your voice.
That's beautiful. Working on that alignment and really spending time, because you mentioned that very well a bit earlier about the fact that we want to be in this masculine energy, which is a beautiful energy, but like with everything, when you take it to extreme, then you
Yeah.
know you need to bring some balance in there.
Yeah.
And it's like when you allow yourself to be present, to just let that story come through and create that alignment. I think your audience can feel that too. And the audience can feel when there is something off and where is
Yeah.
something that is aligned. And when you think about your experience, I know that you've worked with clients across different industries and cultures. Would you say, can you remember a pattern? Can you identify a pattern when it comes to people coming to you and asking for your guidance? Like, what kind of moment are they facing? What kind of situations they're dealing with when they come to you and ask for help?
Yeah. They're to be honest, the pattern that they're facing is this, right? They're at a crisis point. People usually come to me when they're at a crisis point. They're at a crossroad at somewhere where they've taken themselves so far, but they know they need to go to the next level, but they just don't know how. They need to go to the next level in their confidence, in their speaking, in their positioning, but they just don't know how. They've done good so far, but there's another level. There's another level of greatness that they know that they need to tap into. And that tends to be the pattern. It didn't matter if that client came from America, from Australia, from the UK, but it seems to be that woman that's at that crossroads. She's in that had a little bit of a crisis, pulling her hair out, and she's going, where do I go next with my
Yeah.
speaking? Mm.
Oh, I can only imagine the sensation you must have when somebody comes to you and says, how can I go to the next level? Like, what's your reaction to that? How do you respond to that?
Well, I'm always like, let's breathe. Let's breathe. Breathe. Let's breathe first, right? Let's not panic. Let's breathe because you know what? Your awareness of you knowing you need to go to your next level, your awareness of you are ready to embrace it is enough for us to take the first step together. Yeah. So that's the way that I meet and I greet them in that intersection. And then what we do is we have to first look at where you're coming from. So, what is your expression now? You know, what are you doing now? How are you doing it? How are you operating? What's happening with your body when you speak? What's happening with your vocal muscles when you speak? Where's the anxiety building up? Where can we decrease that? So that's really the first step that we take together.
And a very important step, because before
Hmm.
you take the next step, you need to kind of sit with what's happening now and assess the present moment and be in the present moment as well. And this is so, so valuable. And I can imagine that as you start like relaxing into this journey and your client is opening up and you learn more about their story, there is, of course, a level of vulnerability that comes in play, especially when you craft that message or you work with the communication
Mm.
part. How would you say it's worth working on on the balance of how much vulnerability to share? When do you know you reached the limit? It's not
Yeah,
too little and
yeah.
it's not too much.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, do you know what? There's something I say, right? Where it's like revealing must not be a vulture stealer. Okay. And what I mean by that is this. When you're being vulnerable, it doesn't mean you need to bleed on your audience. Okay. It doesn't mean you need to bleed. And if it's something you're currently still working through, you're still going through, and you haven't overcome it yet, let's take a step back and see if there's another story in your life where you've overcome it and the energy is not leaky. Okay, we're not leaking the pain because here's the thing. I tend to find that a lot of people on social media tend to believe just telling you everything is where I need to be. That's vulnerability and that's the power of it. But you have a responsibility. You have responsibility, and responsibility is to lead. Your audience are looking to you to lead them to a desired destination. And you need to have gone to that desired destination and you had to have overcome it. So that's where I look from first of, okay, let's pay attention. Are we bleeding or being vulnerable? Right? Are we bleeding over people or are we really speaking a powerful, potent truth, but we've also overcome it?
I love that. Are you bleeding or are you being vulnerable? I think that's a really, really profound question because I think there is a very fine line between like being vulnerable and then going into the other extreme. And especially like you mentioned about the offers and being aligned with your offers, like you're infusing that energy to like
Yeah,
what you want
yeah.
to present and sell. And so if you think about the people that came to ask for your help, what kind of professions do they usually have? Like, are they coaches, self-employed,
Yeah,
do they work in a corporate world?
yeah, right. To be honest, I attract a variety of beautiful people from property investors to, yeah, I know, property investors that need to learn how to communicate to healers. I love working with healers because healers are like, they're so powerful. They're so powerful in the work that they do, but in their communication and in their expression, they tend to forget to match the energy. I tend to work with a lot of coaches and entrepreneurs. Absolutely.
Mm. So, for those who are watching us and they are maybe at the beginning of their journey, and especially when you're at the beginning of your journey, you have to think about so many elements. How do
Yeah.
I present myself? How do I show up? What kind of services I do? And loads of different things.
Hmm.
What what can you advise as like one step that they can implement today to help them get just a little bit further on their
Hmm.
journey to have that more confidence to show up?
Okay, so the first thing I would say is this. Most public speaking coaches will get you to focus on the words, to focus on the exact words you need to say. I say, no, 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 no. The reason why that shouldn't be your first step is because you kind of get overwhelmed when you think about, oh, what's my hook? Like, what's my hook? What's this? What's that? Right? We kind of start to melt down when we think about that. Here's a first powerful step. Fix your resonance first. Fix your resonance. affects how people receive your energy when you're communicating. And the way to do that is through humming. Yes, humming. Humming has been a powerful tool for you to access different layers and parts of your own vibration. And what happens when we hum, we become more aware of our vocal dynamics. So, what I mean by this is this, right? Most people, or most women, when they're speaking, we forget that we have such a wide range that this beautiful thing is an instrument. It's an instrument. And as a singer, I actually never forget that it's an instrument. But what I tend to find is coaches, entrepreneurs, healers forget that it's an instrument. And so, what I really would invite you to do in this moment is to hum from high hum to low hum to open up your range and clear any blockages that may be there. So, it could start from a hmm, and going as low as possible to then go from to going as high as possible. It sounds really simple because it is simple, but it's so effective before you get up on stage to speak. It opens you up. And then what you will find is whatever you say, it will be hit with a different resonance. You'll find that you're doing more dynamics in your voice, and there'll be some changes that will open up for you.
That's a beautiful exercise because it helps you come back to your energy, to who you are. And it's like, as I visualize it, as you're talking about it, as I was visualizing it, like actually doing it myself. And you see, like in these moments, you share healing energy with the world as I was listening to you without saying, I'm going to share healing energy with you right now. But I was visualizing it really almost like when you quiet everything around you
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
you are the only beautiful presence that matters in that moment so that you can
Hmm.
really connect with that frequency. So I know that, like from my experience and from interacting with so many beautiful intuitive creators, I know that one of the big blockages that I tend to see is the idea that a creative person or an intuitive person can't create financial success. Would you
Hmm.
say that when you work on how you share your story, on you work on aligning with that beautiful energy that you're there to share, can help someone get a little bit closer to that financial success in their business too? And how?
A lot closer, a lot closer. Recently, I had a beautiful, beautiful soul say to me, I have never felt so confident in my whole life. Like I cried. When I get feedback like that, I cry because that's my mission. That's my mandate to really see women to become their most extraordinary, to see them become their most confident, to see them become their most powerful. Why that helps you to get closer to your goals, right? Is because it's attractive. It's attractive. People come to you when you are in your confident, attractive essence. So imagine when you're speaking in that way. Most people that do anything that's connected to sales, because I have a very big background in sales as a sales leader for a long time. And the edge that I used to have as a sales leader was my voice. That used to give me the edge in terms of when somebody's speaking, yes, make sure that you're listening in the sales call, but also being able to convey tonality. Tonality signifies empathy when we communicate. And sometimes for some people that don't naturally have that available to them, when they practice it, it changes everything when people come to them. Because then people actually feel so connected to them that they're feeling you are empathizing because we can think we're empathizing in our minds, but it's a different thing for making somebody else feel like you are empathizing, not just through your words, but through your tonality and your sound.
You put that so, so beautifully. Thank you so much for explaining that. It makes a huge difference when we look at things that are not seen or all the numbers, like show me the numbers, show me the
Yeah,
statistics. But we take the time to look beyond that, to understand like what is behind all of that creation that comes forward and can be quantified. It can come with numbers and all of those evidence, all of that evidence. So I think it is so important to talk about these nuances that you
yeah,
talk to our
yeah,
viewers about
yeah.
today.
Can I add
Um,
one thing? One thing is when you're selling, okay, please everybody remember this. When you are selling, it's about how you make the person feel. And your voice and your communication is the main attraction when it comes to how you're making somebody feel. So practicing how you convey a message through your voice is the most transformational thing you'll do for yourselves. Because what will happen is even people that don't close with you on that call to do the sale with you, what will happen, and this has happened many times in my own business, me as a sales leader, people will go away and go, oh my God, that call. Oh, and they'll come back to you and go, do you know what? I need to, whatever you've got, I need some of that. Whatever it is, I just need it. And it will happen way more effortlessly for you. But it starts with
mm.
this becoming your most powerful instrument.
And then this shows the level of trust you have in yourself and in your gift. When you have that conversation, you show that beautiful energy, and then you let that go. You don't push, you don't try, you don't
No,
put pressure. And then that person goes and takes in whatever you shared from your
yeah,
heart in that
yeah,
conversation, and then they come
yeah,
back when they're ready, or if they are your
absolutely.
clients, because that's
Absolutely. You have to have a conviction that whatever is for you is for you. And whatever is for you will never pass you, it will never leave you. So when you are convicted to that level, there's no need to push other people. There's no need to treat people like prey. There's no need to be in the desperate energy of, because when you do something really well and you're a master in it, your audience, your client, your person will rise up. They will say yes.
Mm. Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you so, so much for all the beautiful wisdom that you shared with us today. And I know that I will want to watch this video again, like I do watch my guests and I listen to their stories again. So thank you for your time and for choosing to share your heart with us all. So if someone listening to this video could take away just one core message from your journey, your work, your experience, what would that message be?
It'll be this. Battle tested leaders make the most authentic and powerful speakers. So, the lesson you've gone through in your life, the very early test that you've been through, the very thing that you don't want anybody to know, the thing that's kind of in the shadows, in the back of your mind that haunts you, that keeps you. Do you know that's your story? Do you know that's your essence? Do you know that is somebody else's breakthrough? I didn't know that for a very long time. And as Stella and I, we were talking before the interview, I was saying, when I was at school, I was beaten, I was bullied for things I could not control, for my skin, for how I looked, or you're ugly, you're this, you're that. And it stayed with me for such a long time. And I had to do so much work to heal it. But when I healed that and could overcome that, and that can become a part of my story, the level of breakthrough I would see in the hearts and minds of other women is just powerful. So this is my call to you. My call to you is to call you higher. Okay, I'm not calling you out, I'm calling you higher. And in calling you higher, I'm saying this. Don't minimize your story because you're battle tested and you're still here. So shine.
Ah, Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for that. To everyone watching, please check out the description of this video. Connect with Jacinta because you'll find all the links on how you can connect with her. If you're new to our channel, please subscribe, like this video, and let us know your thoughts. And thank you so, so much for watching this episode. See you soon. Bye.